some semi-consistent
like the old
regatta.
BMX tracks used to do, right?
Yeah.
Where you get in a league, and you start racing on. Dude, I could see that happening with these.
That's exactly right, John. Because there's so much on the race side of this, it being a sport and everything. I'm definitely looking to build a race team down here. We're going to have a club here in Houston for all the people that buy boards or want to come hang out. We're definitely going to do some events over this summer and next summer where people can group up and hang out and stuff like that. So, what was the other part of the question?
I think you just answered it. Yeah.
How would the race be set up? By buoys? Would you set buoys?
Yeah, we would have buoys or flags in the water. And yeah,
Clear Lake's not that deep, so it's not like it's hard to moor a buoy. But
right, yeah, we would try to do some type of exhibition race with like some local, Texas people or people in the area, and just get them on the water, kind of do some little competition stuff. And eventually, like I said, I'd like to, take some of those people and build a team, sponsor some riders, and eventually maybe have a Moto Surf World Cup here in Houston.
Oh, wow.
At the Texas Outlaw Challenge, we did the demo at. We're trying to work with him next year to have a race in that event.
Ooh,
so
how'd that go? Did you give the right rich people a ride?
Yeah. So we'd like to have a race next year in that event.
Right,
Definitely.
right. Dude, that's catching my attention right there. That is a finely tuned little machine right there.
It is, yeah.
I'm ready to take it out to the water. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now that you mention it, Houston should have a Motor Surf World Cup pretty. I mean, we need one, right? I mean, Shanghai, UK, Dubai, all these cities I see on the list. I mean, we need to get on that list. So
absolutely,
that's a good goal to have. I like that.
We're gonna have to schedule
that's what I'm working
training
towards.
session with these.
Absolutely, I'd love to get you guys on the water.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready. Good Lord.
Might have to go on a little diet, but
I'm ready. I'm right at 2:30, but I look maybe a little.
You can be
that.
You can be my test subject. We can see how you do out there.
I have pretty good balance.
Okay.
Yeah. I can do the thing. I've skated. I've done all the.
Yeah. No.
I know the center of gravity thing.
I'm sure you do great. Actually, the hardest thing you're talking about balance a lot, and that is big. But really, I would say the hardest thing to learn in this is the throttle. It's either too much gas or not enough gas. It's just finessing the throttle.
And you don't want to go whiskey, huh?
It's a big part of it. You either go too fast and it throws you off, or you don't give it enough gas and the board will actually die, because when you're not giving it gas, they assume that you're not moving, and when the board's not moving, it can take essentially take in water.
It's basically a delayed differential, right? It's a differential transmission that's in there. Is that basically what you're saying?
I'm not sure
it's
about
not,
that.
What I mean is it's not so, linear.
Right.
It's a little.
Right.
It'll slowly come up to where you're at on the trigger, rather than you just being able to slowly.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a little bit touchy.
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
It can be a little sensitive, kind of like two-stroke, like on a motorcycle, or like a dirt bike.
So, do you have any dirt bike experience?
I don't. I rode a few times when I was a kid. My cousin was really big into it. I had a chance to go out with him a few times, but no, I never rode competitively.
Wow. Yeah.
So we've got a couple people on Facebook Live accusing Mike of wanting to show off his hand size. I don't know what that means, but
I don't know what that means either. I am ready to ride one of these things. I totally am.
No, absolutely.
Oh my God.
We like to challenge every guest that comes to the show, but I'm not sure we have enough time before this break. So I think we're going to continue on and then do the surf time during showtime challenge.
In the next segment with the Russia Imperial Stout segment?
Yeah. Actually, so maybe we'll take a little break here to talk about the beer, talk about a couple events coming up here in the area. We've got the 20th anniversary of Boondoggles there in Alago.
Ooh,
right there on the water, right where Clear Lake meets Taylor Lake. Beautiful water.
The perfect place for one of these jet surfs, man.
Exactly.
Totally.
In fact, I think that's the venue where the concept of Pints and Paddles was born back in the day.
Gonna have to be boards and bottles.
Boards and bottles. Yeah, we'll work on that one. We'll work on that one. But yeah, Boondoggles, live music. I think they're turning back. I think major discounts, happy hour all day, and that's on Saturday, 20th anniversary. I remember, I live right there in Alago, and I remember leaving the neighborhood when they're building it, thinking, man, that place. I don't know, man. You can't even see it from the Asteroid 1. That place probably is not going to make it. Well, obviously I got that wrong, right?
Well, it started off as a brewery as well.
Yeah, it started out as a brew pub. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, those places can be tucked away and still make it somehow,
exactly.
So maybe starting off with that concept helps out,
Yeah, and I've kind of learned that People. I mean, you don't have to be on the main path all the time. People will find you, and sometimes being tucked away actually helps.
It's a difference to the law of feng shui is don't be below the road, but they're by water, so it negates that.
That's
if
right.
you're by
I think
water,
so.
it negates everything. Yeah,
I think so.
yeah.
Now, remember, we've discussed that many times.
Yep.
The feng shui of venues and bars,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
pubs and restaurants.
Yeah, don't be below the road unless you're next to water.
That is very true.
And also on Saturday is the anniversary party of Scotty's Pub. Scotty's on the Bay, right there.
No way.
Yeah.
Where that was so many different the Dolce Vino, right?
Right,
Back in the
so
day?
yeah. It started out as a Dolce Vino, then it was a couple different. It was tapas, or something like that.
yeah.
Then it was Claudio's.
So we
and then
did
it was-
we did a Scotty's adventure there right before they opened, or right after they opened, and I was really impressed with the place. I think we've been back several times.
I love the place. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
they finally got the right place in
Yep,
there.
yep,
Yeah,
I think
and
so.
he actually opened up in the middle of that strip center, and then
Yep.
once the place that was at the end there, I guess
They kind of
once
changed
became-
it up a bit. They've got that little view of the water there with a nice patio and a fireplace. Yeah, it's an awesome place. Drinks, friendly wait staff.
That's right, and it's the third anniversary. I'm thinking
Third.
2, 3, yeah. Third anniversary
Yep,
of
yep.
Scotty's Pub on the Bay. So that's pretty exciting. So we got that coming up. So we're gonna take a break here in a second, and then, we're gonna talk a little bit about the beer we're drinking. So Mike, what are you drinking right now?
Sierra Nevada Flipside Red IPA.
So the gold standard for breweries, Sierra Nevada, California. They've actually built another brewery on the East Coast.
Yeah,
But we've always been a big fan of Sierra Nevada. Actually, I'm
Right.
drinking a Sierra Nevada right now. It's the No Good IPA.
We also have the 11 Below, which I got at Spec Shelves. It's another Houston brewery on Spec Shelves.
That's true, and Jordan's down in that
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this right now. The
Yeah, it's pretty good, man.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
nice.
I like
Good
it.
amber.
I enjoyed
Brewed
it.
in Houston.
I had one
Yeah.
segment or so ago. Nice amber beer, and it's good.
And locally available. Brewed in Houston and locally available.
I
And
love how there's so many breweries in Houston now. I love it.
It's amazing how it's exploded.
it did
Oh,
explode.
it's
yeah.
awesome.
But hey, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Russian Imperial Stouts. I'm going to bring two of them. We have the glasses, right? You got the glasses
we
with
got
you?
glasses.
We're going to pop two Russian Imperial Stouts, and we're also going to get into the finer points of maybe how to maintain one of these glorious machines,
Yeah.
how to generally maintain, and move on with this this thing I'm enamored with over here, this green deadly machine.
But a reminder: if you don't want to maintain one, you can just show up over at the JetSurf Houston Academy, and they'll do all the hard work for you. They'll
I
train
won't.
you, and they'll put you on the water.
Yeah,
think-
we can store them, service
I want
them.
one.
All that. Anything you need for your board, training, sales, service, parts, we're going to be able to provide all that for you.
Excellent.
Wow. We'll be right back.
The Galactic Guys. Watch us on Facebook Live and YouTube. And don't forget to tell us how pretty we look. It's what your mother would want. And no one knows your mom like the Galactic Guys. Go to vinyldraftradio.com.
That is right. We are back with the Galactic Coast Power Hour, and we're talking motorized surfboards with Jordan from JetSurf Houston, which is about to open a brand new showroom on the North Shore of Clear Lake, right there in Seabrook at the Endeavor Marina, right across the little alleyway from Sam's Boat.
Okay, Jordan. So I see this board. You've ridden it out in the ocean, or out in the bay, Clear Lake Bay, at least. So what is your general maintenance for something like this?
Right, yeah. So they're pretty easy to maintain. You're going to clean them up just like you would a jet ski.
Soap and water on the outside?
You don't even need to use soap. So when you take them out, you can take them into brackish water, fresh water, salt water. A lot of guys ride them in salt water, though. We're brackish there in Clear Lake.
Yep.
But anytime you do have a lot of salt content, you're definitely going to want to clean your boards very well and try to maintain them. You don't want any corrosion, stuff like that, any rust to build up from the
So
salt
does that
water.
mean popping this top right here and
Right.
washing on the inside?
Yeah, so you're going to take the engine compartment lid off, and first what you're going to want to do is rinse the exterior of the board. You're going to rinse down the complete exterior. You're going to want to spray some water into the water-cooled exhaust port, into the back of the board.
Reverse feed your
Right.
water to get
yeah,
any shake
anywhere
loose
that water is going to go through, you're going to want to try to rinse out. Once you've done that and rinsed your entire exterior of your board, you're going to want to open the engine compartment and then rinse that out really well. You're going to cover up the carburetor with your hand. You don't want to get any water in there.
Sure. And that's this little white thing right here.
Absolutely.
Just kind of cover that up.
Yeah, you cover that up with your hand, and then everything else in there is completely water safe and waterproof.
Wow.
You're going to want to rinse it out really good everywhere. Yeah, inside and out.
Maybe keep it tilted up
yeah,
so everything falls out the bottom?
No, so it actually has a bilge pump. So what you do is it'll bilge when you're out on the water. If it starts to get any water in it, it'll self-bilge. But when you're cleaning them, you fill it up about an inch or two, you spray in there and fill it up, and then you put your ignition control in and pull it out, and it'll actually bilge that water out. So you let it bilge out, and then you fill it up again and spray inside of there. You do that 4 or 5 times, and you've gotten a good rinse. That's about all it takes. I can usually clean a board in 20 minutes.
So
it's
all you
completely
have to do
good
is
to
clean
go.
it with fresh water, no soap, no nothing.
Yeah,
just
no
get all
soap
the
or
scale
water.
and the corrosion's off,
and then
that's it.
after you do that, so when you first take them out of the water, you're going to want to start them and get some of that water out of there. And then when you clean them and you've gotten the fresh water all in there, you're going to want to start it again before you store it to get that water out of there again after you've cleaned it.
So for the propulsion to work, there's got to be a water supply.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right,
so
right.
you have to always have water going through there.
So where does it suck water from?
From the back of the board towards the back is where it pulls it in.
So you spray water in that port.
Yeah. You're going to want to spray in there really well. Like I said, that's part of when you spray the exterior.
Oh, so you just put it on the stand when you clean it?
Yeah, you just put them right on the
This little
stand.
nifty stand that comes with it.
Absolutely, and spray them down, like I said, inside and out.
Wow.
And then you want to put a little bit of oil spray on there on the engine, some anti-corrosive stuff just to try to seal that up, and that helps maintain it and keep some of that salt water off there.
For sure, right? Yeah. Anything oil is going to keep water away anyway.
Right. So. Yeah, I use a product called T9. It works really well. It's made by Boeing, so it works well for this kind of stuff.
This is your personal board, or does this belong to the shop?
It belongs to the shop. Yeah.
Do you have a personal board?
Not at the moment.
I'm tricked out beyond belief.
I'm actually working on that. I will be getting a race titanium board soon, and like I said, maybe I'll be slapping some numbers on there if I start trying to compete here soon. But for now, no, I'm just riding the house boards.
So there's a good chance you'll be Houston's first jet board competitor.
Representing
the city of Houston.
Yeah, as of right now, I think there's no one else doing it. We'll see, though. There might be guys that they pick this up really fast, and start competing, really soon. So we'll see. But there's a guy in Dallas that is competing, and a guy in Austin, and they have competed in some of the Moto Surf World Cup contests.
Oh, nice. Well,
so who was your favorite skater growing up?
Oh, Tony goes up there.
Tony's always
classic. Yeah. I think that's everybody's favorite.
Anyone special? Anyone other than that?
Nah.
Yeah, he's pretty much the top guy.
What about yours, Mike?
It'd be Tony, but we used to. There was so many that were trying to. We didn't even hear about a lot of the stuff that was happening in California until it was after. Coming here to Texas, so it was so late getting on the train with everything, and especially like I said, my buddy he was sponsored, so he had the insight into the whole thing, and Christian Hanoi always had a little special place in my heart. He was a good skater. He was trying to break grounds, but.
Yeah,
dude, Tony's invented so many tricks.
I'm trying to think of some of the more technical guys' names, but I can't think of them now.
There was an Australian pair of brothers.
Oh yeah. God, what are their names?
I can't.
I've seen a documentary 100 times. That's
their
good.
names elude me right now, but they were like Tony's nemesis, and they were a pair of brothers who knew they wanted to be pro skaters when they were just like Tony when they were little. They just knew. I think the difference is Tony's still going and
isn't that something?
And, only one of the two brothers still alive, and I think they both sampled the spoils of war too much.
Yeah, right.
Totally.
All right, so since we're talking surfing, although we're talking about motorized jet surfing, but every guest that comes to the show, we quiz them, and in the first time in the history of the Galactic Coast Power Hour, we're going to play Surf Time Showtime. So we're going to show you an image, and you have to identify. There's a surfing theme behind every image, and you have to identify either the movie. We'll even let you have it if you identify one of the actors.
Identify something.
Identify something. So, number one.
Point Break.
Point Break.
Yeah.
Right. That's an easy one.
Of course. Yeah.
That was Bodie. And dude, what was his?
I remember the other guy. He was an Ohio State quarterback who blew out his knee and worked in law enforcement. Went undercover. I remember that. But and we try to make it. You know, we've had some ugly defeats in these challenges with guests in the recent year. Recent shows. So we've tried to maybe we came with 4 different games, but we picked the one that we think the guests might actually have the best chance at. All right, so this one's it's not the highest resolution photo, but
oh, that's a tough one.
I think movies. I think Steven Spielberg might be involved.
I mean, I guess Jurassic Park. Yeah,
hey, we'll take that. Jurassic World.
Okay,
all right.
I
haven't seen that one, but
I don't remember that scene though. Yeah,
I think this is. I think this one
was
might
that
not.
a pterodactyl?